We are Islamic Republic, Part 105. All this put up the prices of goods that ordinary people had to pay in the shops and markets. Tough action brought down prices. Goods were seized from the profiteers, and many arrests were made. Fixed the price of essential foods. Shortly after taking power, the government fixed the price of milk, vegetables, and ghee to stop traders making too much profit at the expense of the people. New housing developments. Thousands of people who had been displaced by partition still lived in dreadful slums. A new and enthusiastic Minister of Rehabilitation, Lieutenant General Azam Khan, set about tackling the refugee housing problems. A massive new housing development at Korangi provided new homes for refugees living in Karachi. Reform of the marriage and divorce laws. In 1961, the Muslim Family Laws Ordinance helped to improve the position of women. Divorce by simple repudiation was no longer allowed. Marriages and divorces had to be registered and approved by a court. Further marriages also had to be approved by a court. The minimum age for the marriage was set at 16 for women and 18 for men. Although these laws were difficult to enforce, there is no doubt that they were an important step towards improving the rights of women. Educational reforms. Ayub Khan's efforts at educational reform had mixed result. The wide-ranging report of the Commission on National Education was very important in the development of education in Pakistan. It identified the importance of education and investment in national growth. As a result, education up to class 5 was made free and compulsory. Secondary education boards were set up to oversee secondary schooling up to class 12. University reforms were most difficult. There was a great student there was a there was great student anger at the decision to extend degree courses from 2 to 3 years. So great was their opposition that it had to be stopped. It had to be scrapped after 2 years. Progress was made to improve scientific education and research. Land reforms. Immediately on taking power, Ayub Khan set up the Land Reform Commission. This led to a series of important land reforms aimed at providing security of tenure and fairer distribution and ownership of land. A limit was set for individual landowners of 500 acres of irrigated land and 1,000 acres of unirrigated land. Over this limit, land known as resumed land was taken by the government, which paid compensation with interest bearing bonds. In turn, the resumed land was sold to those tenants who actually farmed it or was sold at auction. Although some people benefited, the powerful landlords managed to hang on to most of their huge land holdings. Quite a bit of the land they gave up was actually very poor land that they were glad to get rid of. Going decimal. On 1 January 1962, people had to start getting used to decimal currency. Under the new system, the rupee remained the same in the name and value, but it was divided into 100 paisa. Instead of old 16 annas or 64 paisas or 96 pice, now it was subdivided into 100 paisas. The 10 rupee note is still in use, but the coins shown below longer are, are no longer used. Why is this period of economic development known as the Golden Decade? As we talk about the industrial development by Ayub Khan.